Hey guys, hope everybody's doing good. My name is Shivam, and in today's YouTube video, I'm going to share my agency journey from zero to the six-figure mark. So, I've been asked a lot of times how I started One Line Labs and what led me to it. So, I just want to say I've been at it since 2018, and now it's been 4 years since my online journey. So as you can see on the screen, I've just got a little, blueprint of how everything went by, so I don't miss out on anything. So in 2018, the start of my online journey was actually starting up an Instagram page of motivational pages. So it's basically how everybody had started motivational quotes. I just wanted to create something, grow it in numbers, and yeah, just run sponsor posts on it. And that is exactly what I did. And back at this time, Instagram was pretty easy to grow, so you could do shout out for shout out, you could just post, use hashtags, and without any paid advertising, you could grow easily. So that's exactly what I did. And I grew that page to 150,000 followers that year itself. And I actually was in the 12th standard that time. So I was just ending high school. And this was during my last exams that was happening. And I got an offer on the page to sell it for about $5,000. And I took that offer, and me being naive, I did not change. I gave the person the account before I took the money, and essentially was scammed out of it. So I just lost out on the page that I grew for over a year. And yeah, I lost the money as well. And I was pretty down about it. And at that time I came across Brad Riley's Upwork course, and it was $500 at the moment. So I asked my dad for the money, and he said that this is just consider this to be a startup cost. And yeah, he bought me the course. And that's where I got into social media management, wherein you manage somebody else's business page. I was going through Upwork to do this because Upwork was a warm platform at the time, and I did not know anything about cold email, cold messaging, etc. And I just knew that you could send a proposal, you could send a portfolio, and that's how you get clients. So I made a mock portfolio on Canva, and I started reaching out to people on Upwork, and yeah, that's basically how the start of my agency happened. This was during 2018. Now, coming to 2019, uh, I went into college. Now, college was a choice that I made. I did have a choice to take a gap year and work on the agency, but I just thought that I'll meet like minded people in college, and I found a pretty good college that suited my needs. So I would just go for classes 4 hours a day because the college encouraged businesses. So everybody was working at that time in that college. So it was pretty good for me. So I signed on a few clients on social media management through Upwork, but that wasn't something that I was looking to do. And I actually switched my social media management agency into a white label agency. So through the Brad's course, I met a lot of agency owners. I met a lot of people who were part of the agency world back then, who are now pretty big: Joshua, Daniel George, Brad Riley, etc. And I basically offered them an outsourcing service. So a lot of people couldn't trust people from Upwork or Fiverr to just do content on the cheaper end for them, so they could deliver it. So I just offered that service to them because living in India, I could take those costs and pretty much make them work for myself. So I was like, okay, I'll outsource it for you, and we'll just give you the end product. And the only deal was whatever clients they sign, they bring to me. So this way, I did not have to keep on reaching out to people, and I could have a constant in stream of clients without even working on a new one. So that business I grew to about $4,000 a month, and I was pretty happy about it. I had one designer on the team who used to design with us. So what we used to do was we used to design, we used to schedule, and we used to caption your content and have hashtags in place. So that was essentially what I do. I started working with pretty big people like Ryan Ramshaw at that time as well. I was outsourcer for him. And yeah, essentially that's basically how I got started. But once college started to go on, I started to become lazy in my agency journey, and I started to plateau. I lost a few clients and did not gain any. And yeah, essentially it just started to slow down at that time. And yeah, I did not really pay much heed to it. Coming to 2020, I realized that I did not want to work for somebody else, and this was my second year of college. I just had one more to go after this. So I really needed to have something in place if I wanted to show my parents that okay, this is a business and this is actually sustainable. So I started to put in the work again. I hired back two more employees to help me with the agency and grew it to $4,000 again. Now this time I was pretty determined to take it to six figures. So I was like, okay, let me see how what I can do more. So I thought, why don't I cold email agency owners, because everybody faces issues with the work on the back end. So I just thought I'll offer them my back end service, and I can just get more clients. So I joined Michael Gardner's agency, cold email mastermind agency program, wherein he used to teach how to do cold email, etc. And there were about 12 of us in there. I'd already worked with Michael Gardner on his agency, so that's how I personally knew him before. And I came to a deal because it was a much more expensive mastermind. So we came to a good deal over it, and yeah, I joined it. I was pretty excited, and that's how I was introduced to cold email at the beginning. At this time, I was looking to just grow my social media management agency and go from there. So came 2021, which is last year, and yeah, I started on this cold email program, but noticed that a lot of people, so Michael taught you how to do lead generation, how to write first lines, etc. But what I noticed, out of those 10 to 12 people, everybody was having a lot of issues hiring a first line writer, because either the grammar was pathetic, they didn't know how to write, or they wrote well for like 2 days, but after that they just lost all interest in it. So Michael himself was looking for one, so I offered Michael that, why don't I give it a go, and you can pay me like 40 cents a line, 45 cents a line, whatever at that time you're paying your VA. So he gave me a project of 100, and I wrote those 100 on my own. And yeah, basically, I, I really enjoyed that. And I just thought that this model is much more scalable than social media management, because in social media management, I was facing issues with creative differences coming up, and just the variety of posts I was posting, and it just became quite repetitive. And I had to be really involved inside business. And that is something that I did not want to do. I wanted to run a much more scalable business, which I could run without me being as the person who's delivering everything to the client. So I asked Michael if it's okay with him that I offer first line as a service to the people in the mastermind. And because he already liked my lines, he said, "Of course, go ahead, and I'll support you on that." And yeah, basically, I pitched to a lot of people inside the group, and Michael said that you can use Shivam, he's very good, until he figures it out for himself. And that's how I started. One Line Labs was actually given, the name was given by one of the people in the mastermind as well. I don't know if he's watching, but Bruce, he's the one who gave me the name One Line Labs, because he said that you guys are doing very well. And that's when I started to make hires. I hired a lot of people, I started to train them up, and yeah, that's essentially how One Line Labs was formed. And one issue I started facing with first lines was a lot of people weren't sending first lines, or were going away from first lines into an organic line or a loom. So I was always thinking on how to expand One Line Labs, and I just thought everybody leads needs. So sorry, everybody needs leads. So it's quite a tongue twister. But yeah, I just thought, okay, why don't I do this? So I started offering lead gen as a service, and that just then took off, because a lot of people who bought lead gen from me switched to compliment writing as well. And what compliment writing for me was a no-brainer, that they get leads and lines from me because they got a discount if they bought both from us, and they just had one person to look into. So yeah, that's how One Line Labs was formed, and how we switched up my social media management agency. So my social media management agency, which is called Something Social, is still running in the background. We are not doing any outreach for it. I'm not doing a lot of management of it. We have about three agency owners who have about 5 accounts each. So we are handling about 15 accounts on that side of things. And in terms of One Line Labs, that is run by me. I have a manager, I have 4 writers, and 2 lead sources in place. So my manager is looking after the training. She's looking after who is doing what. So I bring in the leads, I bring in the sales, and she is the one handling everything, checking everything. Once everything is done, I just send it over to the client. So this way, I'm not as much involved in the business as I would want to be, but I am still part of everything. And in terms of lead sources, we have two. Again, they handle themselves. All I need to do is we have a type form that we get filled every time we get an order, that goes over to the lead sourcer. They source those leads, it's checked, it's cleaned, and yeah, it's sent to the person, and the invoice is sent. So that's the structure of both my agencies at the moment. And I am at the 6 figure mark in terms of revenue. We are working towards going towards that in profit. So I just wanted to share that. And in case you're looking for any help with your leads and lines, or are looking for a service like ours, just feel free to book in a call with me down below, or just reach out to me via Instagram if you have any questions, and I'll be happy to solve them. So I hope you guys enjoyed this little long form video, a little personal video on my end. But yeah, I really look forward to serving you and just putting out more cold email knowledge for you. Hope you guys enjoyed this. If you did, hit the like button and the subscribe, it really helps. And yeah, thank you so much. Catch you in the next one. Bye.